Make way for His Majesty Chow Yun-fat.
This year's nominees for Best Achievement in Sound Effects Editing skillfully handled thousands of punches, kicks, guns, and spaceships. Here are the nominees.
Ren Clients and Richard Himes for Fight Ho. Dane A. Davis for The Matrix. Ben Bird and Tom Belton for Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace.
And the Oscar goes to Dane A. Davis for The Matrix.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Dane A. Davis.
Wow. So this is where the rabbit hole goes. I want to thank Larry and Andy Wachowski and Joel Silver, Zach Steinberg, and everybody at Warner Brothers for trusting me with such a terrific movie. It was a blast from start to finish. I want to thank our mixers, John, Greg, and Dave, and congratulations. I want to thank my terrific crew led by Julia Evershade, Eric Lindemann, and John Resch. I want to thank my mother and father, my wife Francine, my sons Jeremy and Ryan, for being there for me when I came back from being in The Matrix. This is a great honor. Thank you, everyone in the Academy. Thank you.
You know, just thinking between Andrzej Wajda, Chow Yun-fat, and Salma Hayek, John Rocker must be going nuts. Please welcome someone else who's going to upset him, Austria's biggest export since the Von Trapp family, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Good evening. I'm here today to present the award for Outstanding Visual Effects. This is really exciting for me because while you may not know how much inspiration, imagination, and plain hard work goes into creating this magic, I know because I have been a visual effect. Half of my career I've spent hanging from a helicopter like in True Lies, or riding a motorcycle through fire like in The Terminator, or having a repairman go inside my head like in Total Recall. Also, now I know what it is like to be on the receiving end of all that crazy, demented talent of this craftsman. But tonight I'm going to be on the other end. I'm going to be on the giving end. Now, this year's nominees took us on a trip through the matrix of time, on a trip through the galaxy far, far away, and on a trip through Central Park with a little mouse named Stuart. Here are the nominees for Outstanding Visual Effects. For The Matrix, John Gaeta, Janek, Steve Courtley, and John Thum. For Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, John Knoll, Dennis Murin, Scott Squires, and Rob Coleman. For Stuart Little, John Dykstra, Jerome Chen, Henry F. Anderson III, and Eric
Alert.
And the Oscar goes to Gaeta, Janek, Steve Courtley, and Thum for The Matrix.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Gaeta, Janek, Steve Courtley, and Thum.
Futurized filmmaking. Andy and Larry Wachowski, this is their vision on the screen. These guys made my decade. They gave my career a path, and I am most thankful. And they are great friends of all of ours. They're very, by the heart, they're making their films. I'd like to dedicate this to my son, Skylar. This is inspiration. I'd like to thank my wife, Rose, for standing by me through all of this. I'd like to thank the executive producers, Barry Osborne, Andrew Mason, ultra producer, Joel Silver. I'd like to thank Lorenzo de Bonaventure of Warner Brothers for standing behind a very risky picture and really making this film what the filmmakers wanted it to be. I want to point out that there are some great visual effects companies that did this picture. MVFX, Rob Bobo, thank you very much for putting all of your efforts behind innovation, behind the spirit of doing visual effects in service to a story. I'd like to thank Animal Logic and D-Film for quality work and a great experience. And most of all, the artists. Whatisthematrix.com. Go there.
Oscar-winning composer Burt Bacharach leads an all-star musical salute to past Oscar-nominated songs when the 72nd Annual Academy Awards returns.